Welcome back to Active Sports TV. You're now rocking out and kicking it with your host, Active. Boxing fans, we got an explosive episode for y'all. We got news as promised. I was going to keep you guys updated with the press conference tour. And as I promised, I will deliver. We are now headed to Sin City, Las Vegas for the final press conference, and it did not disappoint. Boy, let me tell you, you feel me? Bud Crawford in straight 187 mode. You dig? This Canelo don't know he's stepping on the tail of a lion, man. And I really feel bad for his fan base, like, because they keep poking the bear, and they about to see him roar. In about 2-3 more months, there ain't gonna be nothing that you can do to contain Bud. And I'm trying to tell them now, quit antagonizing this man. We already know Terrence Bud Crawford is not the best talker. We all know the best fighters don't talk a lot. In this press conference, the display was put down, man. Terrence Crawford, he over this, bro. It's getting nerve-wracking, it's getting irritated. Canelo Alvarez embarrassed my boy in New York in the Big Apple. The famous question, heard all around these YouTube streets, went viral. Terrence Bud Crawford, who has you defeated on your resume that is elite? Man, Canelo asked that question and his fan base went crazy. Myself, I was pissed. Terrence Bud Crawford, he dropped the ball big time, got caught off the guard. I don't know what was going on. Did not like the response in New York. Wanted to see a whole different response. I made a follow-up video, man. Y'all go check that out. Got a couple of shorts over there. Y'all go check that out, man. Give you my true, in-time reaction to hearing what took place in New York when Terrence Bud Crawford decided to announce as elite fighters Ricky Burns and Victor Postal. I was mad. I'm like, bruh, you got Earl Spence, you got Sean Porter, you got Gamboa. Like, what are we doing here, bro? That's 3 off the bat. Kell Brook, even though Kell Brook was on the downside, but that's a name. You could have went British Prescott. He defeated Amir Khan before both of y'all. So it was a lot of things Terrence Bud Crawford could have said that he clearly dropped the ball on. I don't know if it just got too intense in there. He just wasn't on his game. But I do know that Terrence Bud Crawford hold that Ricky Burns title, him winning his first title over Ricky Burns, really near and dear to his heart. That's his biggest accomplishment to himself. The world is gonna say Earl Spence right off the bat. Ain't no question. That was the biggest hype. That was the biggest promoted fight with his name attached to it. And the performance, man, left everybody speechless. So with that being said, you gotta make that your highlight, bud. Like, you gotta make that your main thing, bruh. You should have been building Earl Spence up to make yourself look even better. But each his own, bro. Bud is his own man. He gonna do what he do. Hopefully he keep his ear to these streets and somebody get this YouTube video over to him so that he can dissect it. Bernie the Boxer, Bo Mac, all them, you know what I mean? They do their homework and they hit the drawing board, man. Come back with some nice material, man, to make themselves look in a better light out here in these boxing streets. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. We getting right to this press conference. We got a different energy out of Bud in this press conference. Canelo Alvarez, he feeling himself. He got that ego, that machizo, you know what I mean, where he know he's the face of boxing. Everybody's coming out to see him. Them fans they was cutting up in there, bro. Like, Canelo still is the face of boxing. Devontae Davis, all that, bro. Listen, bro, until you selling out press conference, you ain't the face of boxing, bro. Like, take a back seat, man. Cinnamon Carrot Top, he got a lock on this until Terrence Bud Crawford take the throne from this dude. Like, that's just how it is. Canelo Alvarez ain't trying to pass the throne over. to David Benavidez, he might have seen a ghost over there, got spooked, and decided he didn't want to fight no more Mexican fighters. But like I said, Terrence Bud Crawford had a whole lot of material he could have used to fire back at Canelo, but he wanted to play it safe. He wanted to respect the fighters and the fighters' accomplishment. Man, when you getting disrespected, all respect go out the window, bud. Just like with Earl Spence Jr., man, you can't be cordial with your enemy, bro. Listen, when they come in for your head, you got to come with the same aggression. But in this press conference, he made me a little more proud. Could have did better, but prouder than I was in his response with the Ricky Burns and the Victor Postal as a response to the elite question. Dropped the ball there. But he spit on Canelo, told him, like, listen, I'm different. Now we know Terrence Bud Crawford is different. Like, Canelo ain't got to tell us that. The world know that. His fans may be delusional and try to deny that, but they gonna find out. And deep down inside, they don't want to admit the truth. They worried about Canelo, man. They don't want Canelo to go out like Earl Spence. I'm telling you, they don't. So with that being said, it's definitely nerves around Canelo Alvarez camp. Terrence Bud Crawford pointed out that, every time that it was time for him to step up and in adversity and fight someone great, he always reached expectations and knocked them out of the park. He is flawless. He has no blemishes on his record. Up until the Modulov fight, he had a 7-year run of consecutive knockouts, going from division to division to division to division. 4 of them exact, 4-time divisional champ, undisputed in 2 of those weight divisions, 140, 147, and we already got into the biggest fight of his career at 147, Earl Spence Jr., who was demolishing the welterweight division before Terrence Bud got there. So he spit on him and he addressed him. He said, listen, when you went to fight Demetrius Bivol, was he considered a great fighter or a good fighter? I love the question. This should have been asked in New York. Immediately, the zipper went over Cinnamon and Carrot Top head real quick. He zipped that mouth up real fast. Even the crowd got quiet. They was wondering, what you gonna say, Canelo? Because they know Demetrius Bivol was considered an average Joe, someone that was not considered a threat. The reason why Canelo Alvarez had avoided fighting Demetrius, Andrade, Ubu, and Jamal Charlo with PBC, with David Benavidez on that back end. He wanted no part of that deal with PBC. He wanted to go ahead and align himself with Eddie Hearn, get the last Triple G fight, the trilogy, and then upon that trilogy, he wanted to do something historic that he hasn't done in his career up until this point, which was go to 175 pounds and try to take on the champion. He wanted to start collecting those belts at 175 and possibly become undisputed. But he met a fighter such as Demetrius Bivol, who put the flip-flops on him. Yeah, put a few of those on Canelo. Had him think twice about going up in that weight, meeting those bigger fighters. Also, Arthur Benavidez was up there. Ain't no telling how that would have went. If he would have really, to me, if he was really trying to pass the test, he would have tried to get multiple titles at 175, go right to Arthur Benavidez, and get the unified titles before Demetrius Bivol did. But he went the easier route, as Canelo, the MO trademark is, believing that Demetrius Bivol was sweet. This will be a cakewalk. And he fucked around and found out that the was real, and Demetrius Bivol was not only a good fighter, an elite fighter. So it begs me to then beg Terrence Crawford to then ask this man, when you had to fight an elite fighter, what were the outcomes of those fights? Because from our understanding as boxing fans, Canelo Alvarez and Canelo Alvarez fan base, Triple G has never beat anyone elite. And even Canelo Alvarez said in his most recent press conferences that Triple G is his biggest accomplishment, his biggest fight. So why does it matter who Terrence Crawford has defeated that's considered elite when you hold near and dear to your heart your biggest achievement in your resume was against a fighter who never accomplished anything in the sport of boxing, couldn't even beat you in 3 tries. But yet, we're going to try to downplay a 2-time undisputed champion who beat up on the likes of Earl Spence Jr., Sean Porter, Amir Khan, Kell Brook. He got damn near the same resume as Canelo Alvarez when it comes to similar opponents, or, you know, outside of Amir Khan. That's the mutual opponent that they both have. But Canelo Alvarez came up in the lower weight classes. Everybody act like Canelo Alvarez is just this huge guy that's been at 168 his whole entire career. He's been a weight bully his whole career. Always catching, making handicapping fighters, making catch weights, so on and so forth. Ask Amir Khan, go and watch that fight, and it'll fill you in on exactly what I'm talking about. Matthew Hattons, so on and so forth. So this is not something we have not seen before from Canelo Alvarez. That's why I'm appalled to why all of these boxing fans is acting so shocked. Canelo Alvarez have an MO, bro. He liked to pick off the tree with the closest root. He don't want to go and climb no trees. He don't want to put in no work. This man has been paid very well. He and deservingly so. He's the face of boxing. He holds a whole country on his back. That, I mean, not too many boxers in today's game have that magnitude of influence to where they can get that backing from a fan base. So we're not gonna sit there and act like Canelo ain't deserving of the hype and the praise that his countrymen give him, because he is the star. He is the light. Cinnamon Carrot Top, he is Mexico. And I respect him for that. But boy, he embarked up the wrong tree. I swear to God, he embarked up the wrong tree. Terrence Bud Crawford is a different animal, bro. It's like something out of Jurassic Park we ain't never seen before. This man, all he know how to do is seek and destroy. He told Canelo Alvarez to his face, he said, well, that means that you a good fighter and Bivol was a great fighter, because when you went to step up in competition to be great, you got your ass whooped by a great fighter in Demetrius Bivol. And I applaud. That's what we talk about, bud. Stand up for it. Like, how you gonna play nice with somebody playing dirty, bruh? Keep your ears to the street. And you definitely can use that Triple G one for the next one, because Triple G has never fought anyone elite outside of Canelo Alvarez. And what was the result of that bout? Draw and 2 losses. So we don't even need to talk about him anymore. I wouldn't even claim that as one of my biggest victories. Canelo Alvarez, he can't claim Floyd Mayweather because he lost. He has 2 draws on his resume. So outside of the 2 losses, it ain't like he hasn't been figured out by 2 other fighters. Canelo Alvarez is beatable. Can you say the same as a boxing fan listening to this episode right now that Terrence Crawford is beatable? Have you ever seen anybody come close to beating Terrence Bud Crawford? I'll wait. Enough. Because you ain't got to wait that long. Ain't no way you ain't seen Terrence Bud Crawford come close. And don't give me that shit out your ass talking about Gamboa. Gamboa, that was a flash punch. And you seen exactly what happened after that. The man went down on the canvas 2 times after that, and the referee was in there stopping the fight after that. So we're not gonna give unnecessary credit where it ain't really necessarily due. Yeah, Terrence Bud Crawford is now in fight mode. Everything that I seen transpiring in the Earl Spence fight, leading up to that fight, it's like a replay, man. It's taking place right before our eyes as we speak. Terrence Bud Crawford fans, we know how this thing gonna go. Canelo Alvarez fans, y'all about to find out. And like Terrence Bud Crawford told y'all, bring you a box of tissue because you gonna need it. This your boy Active Man wrapping this one up, man. It was a hell of a press conference out there in Vegas, man. Look forward to seeing these guys throw down, man. Let me know, man, in the comments how you feel about what I put down. My opinion on the overall press conference. Canelo Alvarez was making fun of Terrence Bud Crawford, basically insinuating that Terrence Bud Crawford was like somewhat like a yes man, that he the reason why he confronted Canelo and tried to walk him down and push him back in New York was maybe because he had some incentive or turkeyology made him do it, which I thought was another low blow. But Terrence Crawford stood on business, let him know, like, bro, listen, you said I was scared of you, bro, and I wanted to show you that I can come right to you and manhandle you. And I liked that response. That was the type of energy I was looking for in New York, but we got it in Vegas. So if you like what I just put down, man, go ahead, hit the subscribe button on the way out. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button as well if you haven't already. This is your boy Active telling you guys to stay activated at all times. And you know the motto. Salute to the Active Battalion. Until next time, in a minute.